If you have watched Matt Moran on MasterChef Australia, you'd know that the Australian loves fresh produce. And there's one dish Matt loves in Singapore above all others. Find out more on Rage.
I've got a lot of favourites. I can be pretty, basic sometimes. And not saying that it's always basic, but it's very clean flavours, which is the famous chicken rice. I flew up 2 days ago, Singapore Airlines. I flew in the suite on the way up, and I had, as a main course, Singapore chicken rice. It was unbelievable.
Do you recommend the dish?
Absolutely. One of my dishes was on that plane, but I chose not to have it over chicken rice.
And which is your favourite chicken rice, store in Singapore?
Look, I've been to lots of them, and over the years I tend to forget. But one that stands out quite a bit is the hawker out at old Airport Road.
Oh, Airport Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember being there a couple of years ago, and remember that. That is the closest to perfection.
Perfection. Closest to perfection. Yeah. Salt, butter, and olive oil are must-haves in Moran's kitchen. The 43-year-old is holding court at the Prime Society as part of the World Gourmet Summit, and from April 17 to 20, foodies here will be able to taste some of his creations. Moran will be serving a 5-course Epicurean Delights menu, which promises to showcase signature dishes from his Sydney restaurant Aria.
This is my choice, yeah? Yours is going to be soy, chili, and rice, yeah? Because you're Chinese. But for me, it's olive oil, butter, and salt, yeah? Okay. If you have a nice piece of bread, yeah? What goes really well with bread? Butter with a little sprinkle of salt. If you don't have butter, you can put a little bit of oil, a little bit of sprinkle of salt. They all go together, yeah? They all help each other. The difference between a very good chef and a great chef is whether he seasons food or not, and salt is the big part of that.
Moran is both a chef and a businessman, with 7 food businesses, including Aria Sydney and Opera Bar, which overlooks the Sydney Opera House.
Customer's always right.
Customer's always right.
Sometimes.
Okay, so what do you think when people say, I gotta take less salt, for health reasons? Do you think food can still be good with less seasoning?
No. It's like, it's all in moderation. Life is about moderation. My blood pressure is really good, and I eat quite a bit of salt. It's like talking about fat in food. When I cook my lamb loin, I always leave the fat cap on. What it does is protect it, it keeps it moist, but it's fatty. If you don't like the fat, you cut it off. But if you take the fat out of food, you take the flavour out of food. And that's a big thing. If someone comes to my restaurant and says, I didn't like the lamb, it was too fatty, I go, of course it's fatty. We don't buy skinny lambs, we buy fat lambs, But if someone says, they want salt reduced, of course, we abide by that. But, at the same time, it may affect the quality of what you're getting.
Moran made his name by appearing on MasterChef Australia, but has since quit to focus on his restaurant business. While he's undoubtedly one of Australia's most well-known culinary names, Moran said the only reason he joined the F&B industry when he was 15 was to escape school.
I just wanted to leave school. And back in those days, you never really had an ambition to be a restaurant owner or even be a head chef. Back in those days, chefs weren't celebrities. You did it for one reason, because you love it, and it kind of became a progression. I kind of obviously everything that I've done has been a progression. I never set out to be who I am. It just happened, and I've never known anything else, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't know how to do anything else in life, but for someone who's been doing it for 28 years. I'm still as passionate now as what I was when I first started.
In the next clip, Moran lets us in on his family life.